I'm so glad to be done with all of the grunt work and the demolition that goes along with this remodel. Of course, before you can start with any of the fun stuff in a makeover or remodel, you always have to do the right prep work. And that was particularly essential in my one-room challenge because our bathroom had actually spots of mold that were growing on it and crackling paint. You can't just go over that with another layer of paint. It'll continue to have problems moving forward. So I needed to do some remediation to make sure that that issue was not going to continue. Additionally, I'm not a big fan of popcorn ceilings, so as far as I was concerned, they needed to go. I already had to do some scraping on the walls in the bathroom, might as well get the popcorn ceilings out of the way at the same time. To help fix my walls, the first thing I need to do is scrape away any dry or peeling paint. Then I could patch those areas and go over any rough spots or trouble areas with some joint compound. So for a space like my bathroom where you have more moisture, it's really important that you put a primer that is going to be moisture resistant. Now I went ahead and used that same moisture resistant primer in my closet because it also had some water damage from who knows how many years before. I was a little nervous about what was going to happen with my ceilings, so I did test a little piece first because I was told originally that they were painted over, that the popcorn ceilings were painted over and they wouldn't come off so easily. Well, when I did that small test, it came off like butter, so I was really happy about that. So all I needed to do was spray it with water, let that set for a few minutes, come back, give it another coat of water with a small spray bottle, and then I just scraped it right off. Then to make sure that it has that nice smooth texture when I'm done, I did go over it with a very thin coat of joint compound all across the entire surface, both in the bathroom and the closet. Trust me, your arms will get a workout, but it's worth it. After that, I sanded everything smooth, and then I was able to give it its final coat of paint. So I'm not really very good at mudding, so I was a little worried about applying that joint compound. But the nice thing about it is it's so moist that it just kind of smooths out as you go. That's not to say it doesn't take a little technique. For me, I found that I needed to use a smaller tool as opposed to a larger tool when spreading it, and I had better control. Of course, you'll have to figure out what works for you. But the good news is that it's very forgiving, and when you get that final coat of paint on after you've sanded it really well, it'll look beautiful. My final project for this week was to get this wallpaper up in the closet. I'm really excited about it. It, I think, adds a fun, whimsical kind of feel to the space. To install, I use a piece of wallpaper to mark and use a level to get that line perfectly straight. Then I applied the wallpaper paste to the top half of the wall, and now I can use that line to install that first piece exactly level. I start a couple inches higher and use a straight edge to trim that top piece for consistency. Now, because I don't have an extra pair of hands to help me with this project, I'm using my stool to help hold the paper out of the way while I apply paste to the entire bottom half of the wall. To match the next row, I roll up the paper until I can see that matching design and give myself several inches on top before cutting the roll to be more manageable. Now I just bend that top piece backwards, line up the top several inches of the design along the left edge, and then smooth it from the edges outward. I should mention that I keep the roll intact while I apply the top half of the wallpaper. Then I cut off the excess roll with scissors, leaving a few extra inches. And after I smooth the bottom half, then I use that straight edge to trim that final piece at the bottom. Again, my methodology for getting it up might not quite be what the pros do. I have no idea, frankly. But it's something that, after experimenting a little bit, I found that it worked really well for me. Especially since this time around, I was installing it solo. So wish me luck on this project. I've got 6 more weeks until the big reveal. All right, I'll see you then.